news headlines. Nigeria and Cameroon agree to cooperate to end cross-border crimes and promote peace between the two countries. Deaconess Martha Udomi Manuel sues for love, peace and unity among Christians regardless of denomination. And President Muhammadu Buhari is in Iran for a meeting of gas exporting countries. Details of these and other stories. Good morning and thanks for joining us on the news. I am Samuel Udofia. Nigeria and Cameroon have reaffirmed their commitments to deepen relationship to help end cross-border crimes and promote peace between the two countries. This was part of decisions of the just concluded fourth session of the Nigeria-Cameroon Trans-Border Security Committee meeting. Patience John reports that Governor Udomi Manuel was represented by his deputy, Mr. Moses Ekpo.
Briefing journalists shortly after arriving from Abuja, where the meeting took place, the Deputy Governor, Mr. Moses Ekpo, said that Nigerian governors whose states share borders with the Republic of Cameroon and representatives from Cameroon attended the meeting. According to him, issues on security between both countries, as well as the need to create a robust relationship to enhance the welfare of indigents of both countries, were discussed. Mr. Ekpo said that the meeting afforded the two countries opportunity to seek formal ways of promoting bilateral trade along its borders, minimize trans-border crimes, as well as live in peace.
One of the discussions was how do we formalize this arrangement, this trade, to enable both the individuals and the government get some benefit. But besides that, there is absolute need to look at the relationship that we have. And it was amicably agreed that there should be the real need to have a formal relationship and rationalizing it for the benefit of the two countries.
It will be recalled that President Buhari had in July this year, during his working visit to the Republic of Cameroon, solicited support and collaboration of President Paul Biya in the fight against terrorism and trans-border crimes. Patience John reporting.
The Deputy Governor, Mr. Moses Ekpo, was among dignitaries who thanked God for blessing his elder brother, Elder Okon Frank Ekpo, with long life and good health. The Thanksgiving service was to mark the 80th birthday of Elder Okon Ekpo by friends, associates and family members. The wife of the state governor, Deaconess Martha Udomi Manuel, members of the State Executive Council and state legislators were in attendance. Patience John reports.
That's how the family of the celebrator thanked God for keeping their father, uncle, brother, and grandfather alive till the ripe age of 80 years. Their friends and well-wishers, they also displayed some dance steps to express their joy.
We are grateful to God that He is still alive. We are thanking God for the life of our father, but He is alive to still take care of us.
Testifying to the goodness of God in the life of his elder brother, the Deputy Governor thanked God for sparing his life even after a ghastly motor accident and called on all to serve God and impact positively on humanity while alive. To the Governor's wife, Elder Okon Ekpo is a caring father who lives a life of service to others.
I am happy to witness this occasion. Congratulations and happy birthday.
The celebrator, Elder Okon Frank Ekpo, popularly known as Ofe, had worked with the Nigerian National Petroleum Company, NNPC, and rose to the post of Manager Engineering and Technical Services Department before his retirement in 1995. He is said to be honest, fair, and a founding member of the Koibo Church, Diobo, Port Harcourt.
I want to say that I am very, very much happy today. For 80 years, not 80 days, but 80 years.
Such persons should not die. They should live on.
From what we are celebrating today is what everybody wish to be celebrating. So we really thank you, and we also thank
God should continue to endue him with long life, so that he will continue to exert all the good things he has done for humanity.
The Reverend S. Umar, in a sermon on the importance of life, advised the people to glorify God in their lives, have good intention towards one another, and live peaceably with all. Guests were later entertained at the Independence Hall, Abak, in an event chaired by Chief Asukwa Odofia. After a toast by friends and family members, the octogenarian recut his birthday cake, while the popular Etentia supplied music for a dance. John reporting.
Google application developers gathered last week at a conference aimed at creating awareness on the benefits of information and communication technology, ICT. The conference, which drew participants from eastern and southern geopolitical zone of Nigeria, took place at Ibom E-Library, Babangida Avenue in Uyo. Among those who were at the conference of Google developers were the Commissioner for Science and Technology, Dr. Elizabeth Obot, Special Advisor to the Governor on New Media, Meflin Awana, and students from selected secondary schools in the state. Imo Awana was at the conference and filed this report.
Driven by the industrialization plan of the state government aimed at reducing unemployment, youth and passionate Akwa Ibom people who are technologically enthusiastic have been leveraging ICT platforms to be gainfully employed rather than depend solely on government for employment. The lead organizer of the conference, Mr. Hanson Johnson, said that the exercise was meant to create awareness on the latest trend in ICT and expressed readiness of his group to work with the government and individuals to make the state an ICT compliant. Mr. Johnson, who mentioned that Google developers have the support of Google, Aston Wells, Zest, Ministry of Science and Technology, and other stakeholders in ICT, called on the government and the private sector to join hands in making Akwa Ibom State an ICT home. He appealed to youth in the state to come up with ideas that can help them make a living rather than rely on the government alone for employment.
This event is actually designed to prepare us so that we can be part of the industrialization agenda of the private sector.
A keynote address presented by Marshall Anako, a software engineering technologist, spoke on how crowd propels innovation, called on the people to support and embrace technology at all levels, and appreciated the organizers of GDG DevFest, saying that it is the biggest Google technology conference in southern and eastern parts of Nigeria. The Commissioner for Science and Technology, Dr. Elizabeth Obot, who formally inaugurated the Women Tech Makers Group, said that she was at the event to encourage them, adding that ICT is the pivot in which development revolves. Dr. Obot, who said that Governor Dom Emmanuel is passionate about ICT, congratulated the organizers of the event for their creativity and promised to assist them to advance to the next level. The special advisor to the governor on new media, Meflin Awana, expressed delight over the achievement of the group and pledged to support and partner with it to achieve greater success.
When I got the invitation, I needed to know what you guys can do as far as ICT is concerned, and I think I am ready. To achieve a technology-driven economy, you need these players. You need the young people.
The event featured various sessions such as technology startup launch, social media, Android, web, cloud, mentoring, and the launching of local application demo, ranging from JIT and GitHub, House Girl, Afroport by Brownson, as well as a display of expertise by a 9-year-old developer, David Ekanem, who is a co-founder of AK Trivia, a game about Akwa Ibom State that helps visitors and residents to know major landmarks in the state. Some of the participants spoke on what they stand to gain after the event.
One thing that really made me to become a developer is because I just really like playing games.
The Ministry of Transport has flagged off the State Transport Education Scheme. The exercise, which was performed by the Commissioner for Transport, Prince Godwin Ntowude, at the premises of Akwa Ibom Transport Company Limited, drivers and commuters were educated on safety standards. The story is here presented.
Flagging off the Transport Education Scheme, the Commissioner for Transport, Prince Godwin Ntowude, said that it is aimed at ensuring safety of road users. Represented by the Permanent Secretary, Dr. Effiong Abia, Prince Ntowude enjoined drivers to always carry out regular checks on their vehicle before use. The Commissioner also advised against drinking and driving, overloading, wrongful overtaking, smoking while on steering, use of one-way, use of seat belt, using cell phones while driving, and speed limit. Things to check out for in a vehicle, according to him, are gauge status, light fitness, spare tire, fire extinguisher, horns, brake, engine oil, radiator water, and speedometer. He also made a case for the use of traffic lights.
There is nothing as good in this life when you look unto God. No man can protect you in this world. If you put your trust in man, you have made a mistake.
Responding, the Managing Director of AKTC, Mr. Nsikak Johnny, and members of the State Transport and some drivers' education thanked the Commissioner for his interest in the safety of both drivers and commuters and appreciated the Ministry of Transport for working tirelessly to ensure safety on the roads. Drivers promised to abide by the Public Enlightenment Program to stay safe.
We should lead in every sector.
That is true.
I've given in terms of vehicle, maintenance of vehicle, whatever you need to make Akwa Ibom transport number one, I've given it up.
Yes, sir.
Whatever is your problem, maintenance from tire, the vehicles inside these premises are less than 2 years old.
Meanwhile, the Commissioner for Transport, Prince Godwin Ntowude, has tasked members of the Road Transport Employers Association to work towards improving the economy of the state. Prince Ntowude gave the charge when he played host to the new executives of Road Transport Employers Association in his office. Speaking earlier, the state chairman of Road Transport Employers Association, Comrade Emmanuel Udo, had said that they were in the Commissioner's office to familiarize with him and the ministry and appealed to the state government to create truck parks, bus stops, and permit ownership of private motor parks. The Commissioner in response congratulated Road Transport Employers Association for electing new executives, advising them to work hand in hand with government to actualize the lofty ideas of Governor Udom Emmanuel.
The wife of the Akwa Ibom State Governor, Deaconess Martha Udom Emmanuel, has called on Christians to live in love, peace and unity irrespective of their denominations. Deaconess Martha Emmanuel made the call at the Akwa Ibom Church 8th Biennial National Women's Convention held at the Samuel Beal Theological College in Abak. The story is here presented.
The house that divided cannot stand. There is no way you can move forward. They deny both of it. Speaking them. We need to be wrong because we are preparing to meet with the Lord.
We apologize for the absence of loss of voiceover in that insert. We should correct the problem in our subsequent bulletin. You're still watching AKBC 45 News at Dawn. The church auditorium has been built and donated to the Kwaibo Church in Ikore-Biere, Ona local government area. We'll take this after the break stage.
There is a land of great beauty and wonderful people. Here, Mary Slessor called home until she passed on to greater glory. Here, Lord Lugard lived and administered Nigeria. The hills roll like the waves, and the waves rise like the hills. A land named after God. Akwa Ibom State, the land of promise. Welcome to Akwa Ibom, the land of promise.
You're watching AM News on AKBC, and I'm Samuel Odofian. A church auditorium built and donated to the Kwaibo Church, Ikore-Biere, in Ona local government area by the Commissioner for Works, Mr. Ephraim Iyanyen, has been inaugurated. Known as Triumphant Chapel, Mr. Iyanyen said it is in appreciation of God's benevolence on him and his love to provide a befitting place of worship to God and the people. The report.
The name Triumphant Chapel was divinely inspired given the fact that now is the season of liberation and uncommon breakthrough in development of Akwa Ibom people. He thanks God for his life, which according to him has been directed by God.
Power will soon get to you, authority will soon get to you, leadership position will soon get to you. Let's pray that when it gets to you, you will not abuse it, because what I discovered is that the man at the local government is accusing the man at the state. The man at the state is accusing the man at the center. The problem is a chain of accusation. Everyone brings something. But if there will be a group of people that will rise up, it could be transformation. That will rise up and say the time has come for effective change, where what is available will be rightfully shared to everyone to participate.
Pastor Church, Ikore-Biere Road, the referee who drew his 2 Chronicles chapter 2 admonished Christians to always practice truth, righteousness before God. Dedicating the chapel, Pastor Elijah Udo prayed against contrary altars in Ikore-Biere community and said that the presence of Triumphant Chapel in the community will bring life to the presence of God and his church in Ikore-Biere. The Ministry of Works choir sang at the occasion where prayers were offered to the family of the Commissioner for Works, Mr. Ephraim Iyanyen. Meanwhile, the Commissioner for Works, Mr. Ephraim Iyanyen, has commended the transformation initiatives for the empowerment of Ibom people for believing in Mr. Udom Emmanuel and his administration. At a special meeting of the group, Mr. Iyanyen assured them of the preparedness of the administration to create wealth for the people and announced a 3-member committee to work out modalities for the welfare of the group. He charged them to be their brothers' keepers and briefed them well on the achievements of the Governor Udom Emmanuel so far. The group, in a 15-point communique, appreciated the giant strides of the Udom Emmanuel administration and passed a vote of confidence on President Muhammadu Buhari and the Udom Emmanuel-led government, more especially for appointing their Board of Trustees chairman, a commissioner.
The University of Uyo has signed a memorandum of understanding with 2 indigenous private partners for the construction of the International Center for Energy and Environmental Research in the university. The ceremony, which took place at the permanent site on Wangiba Road, saw the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Comfort Ekpo, initialing for the university, while an Executive Director with ExxonMobil, Mr. Udom Inoyo, signing for Inoyo and Partners. An alumnus of the university, Mr. Okun Amasi, signed for Mutual Alliance Limited. We bring you details. We should correct the loss of sound on that insert in a subsequent bulletin. The Vice-Chancellor designates University of Uyo Professor Nefio Essien has absolved himself from publications in 2 local tabloids in the state to the effect that he made love overtures to an ex-student of the law faculty of the university. Professor Essien was reacting to questions put to him during a media parley with the Pro-Chancellor and Chairman of Council of the University of Uyo, Professor Kemse Okoko. He told the media professionals that though he was a member of a panel set up by the faculty to look into cases of examination malpractice by students at the time, he was innocent of the alleged love overtures insinuated by the local tabloids. Professor Essien explained that the committee, having concluded its investigations, submitted the report to the faculty, which looked into it and sent it to the University Senate, which also sat over the report and expelled the student in question. The professor of commercial law said efforts by the student to get the expulsion overturned by the University Senate Appeal Committee also failed, a situation which made her seek redress in court. He averred that he was not a party in the suit and was not even called as a witness, explaining, however, that although the expulsion was overturned by the court, it was not on grounds of the alleged love overture.
What the court did was that the court overturned the expulsion, not on the basis of overture, but because the court said the university had no jurisdiction to have looked into exam malpractice. I said malpractice because there is what we call Exam Malpractice Act, which gives 10 years imprisonment to anybody found guilty for exam malpractice. And the court said, look, the university had no jurisdiction to have gone into it. One, you can't give somebody 10 years imprisonment or any year at all, or even 1 day. Secondly, the alleged there was a breach of fair hearing. That a member of the panel in the faculty was also a member in the appeal panel of the university.
President Muhammadu Buhari is participating in the 3rd Gas Exporting Countries Forum in Iran, and Conservative opposition candidate Mr. Mauricio Macri is Argentina's new president. These and more in our channel, national and foreign news with Mercy Ekera.
Paris in Tehran, Iran, where he is participating in the 3rd Gas Countries Forum, GECF. The GECF is an international organization that seeks to mechanism for more meaningful dialogue between gas producers and gas consumers for the sake of the stability and security of supply and demand in global natural gas markets. The GECF also aims at supporting the sovereign rights of its members over their natural gas resources and their abilities to develop, preserve, and use such resources for the benefits of the people. Before the forum opened, President Buhari held bilateral talks with other participating heads of state and government, including the Iranian Deputy President, Mr. Shariat Madri. 12 countries, including Nigeria, make up member countries of the GECF, while 6 other countries have the status of observer members. Buhari will be back in Abuja on November 24. British Prime Minister David Cameron has visited France, where he and François Hollande on how to put up an international coalition to fight Islamic State militants, ISIL. Mr. Cameron visited the Bataclan, one of the scenes of the recent Paris attack, along with the French president, where he laid a rose in memory of the victims. Mr. Cameron later held a news conference alongside the French president, where he said he was in support of President Hollande's strike against ISIL in Syria. The Prime Minister said the British Parliament will decide if they are to join in the strike against ISIL. President Hollande on his part said France will intensify its air strikes against ISIL. In a bid to build an international anti-ISIL coalition, David Cameron will within the week meet with President Obama in Washington, Angela Merkel in Berlin, and Vladimir Putin in Moscow. Conservative opposition candidate Mauricio Macri has won Argentina's presidential election, ending 12 years of leftist rule in the South American nation. Describing the victory as marvelous, Macri promised to lead Argentina into a new era of growth after ruling party candidate Daniel Sicoli conceded defeat. Argentina's election body said Macri polled 53% of the votes to defeat Sicoli, who had 47% in a runoff.
And that's the end of our news. Nigeria and Cameroon have reaffirmed their commitment to deepen relationship to help end cross-border crimes and promote peace between the two countries. This was part of decisions at the just concluded 4th session of the Nigeria-Cameroon Trans-Border Security Committee meeting. Top story. Thanks for joining us. Have a wonderful Tuesday. Good morning.